Clock Tower. Now, in the United States, we didn't really get to enjoy the original SNES game that it came out on. Luckily, we did get to enjoy the PlayStation version of Clock Tower, which is the sequel to the first Clock Tower. The main protagonist being the lovely Jennifer, who just went through a horrific experience at the Barrows Mansion, fighting off demonic children that were trying to hunt her down and escaping barely with her life from the sinister Scissor Man, a murderer that uses a giant pair of scissors to slash and cut up his prey. And unfortunately, the horror is not over, because it would appear somehow that Scissor Man has come back to life because more victims are popping up. Or still, they're popping up very close to where Jennifer is, and she continues to have nightmares about the experience. Her caretaker, Helen, realizes that there's really only one way to finish things once and for all. They have to go back to the Barrows Mansion, to its mighty castle, uncover the mystery of the Scissor Man, and put an end to the horror once and for all, or they're never ever going to get rid of this psychotic murderer that's been axing off people left and right. Now, this game can actually unfold in two primarily different ways, because you're not just playing as Jennifer. You can also play as Helen, her caretaker, and who you play as actually depends on how you act in the prologue of the game. So how does the game work? Well, it's a point-and-click adventure game. That's right, just like the old Windows and Mac games that you used to play on your PC when you were young. And yes, this is a game for the PlayStation, so give the graphics a little bit of slack, okay? Now, all things considered, even for a game for the original PlayStation 1, this game actually does a pretty darn good job of building up a very creepy atmosphere that leaves you feeling very threatened and very tense and very nervous, because you are essentially playing out a slasher film. You don't honestly have any way of fighting back. There's no guns, there's no weapons. The only thing you can do is run and hide. And if you're lucky, you'll find one of the places that you can use to hide from Scissor Man so he doesn't frickin' cut you in half. Now, there are a few ways to sort of, like, get Scissor Man off your back if you manage to get close enough to them. Like, if you get close enough to, say, a fire extinguisher, you can grab hold of the fire extinguisher and bash him over the head with it, but they're only like a one-time thing, and they're pretty much a rarity. Really, all of it is about trying to find clues and the various items that you need in order to overcome the different scenarios that you'll be put into. And how the story ends, and there are a wide variety of endings, is all dependent on how many clues you found, who you're playing as, and who you interacted with. At the moment, as you can see in my video, I'm currently playing as a very nice young boy named Nolan. He's kind of sort of Jennifer's, the two kind of have a crush on each other. But Nolan doesn't have to be the one to visit Rick. You can also visit an expert at the library who will also help you out in learning about the history of the Barrows. It doesn't just have to be Rick here. Oh, although Rick doesn't end up doing so well. Well, hardly anyone really ends up doing so well. The point being that you can have multiple people sent to multiple locations, and in the end, everybody has to deal with the horror that is Scissor Man as he's constantly trying to hunt you down. And you can't really hide in the same place twice, so don't think that that's going to save you, and don't think that Scissor Man is the only threat out there. Yeah, even this guy's frickin' dog can in fact kill you in this game, and you can get a premature game over, and there's some kind of disturbing ending cinematics. So I can definitely recommend this game. It's got a good atmosphere, it keeps you tense, it's easy enough to understand the mechanics of it. I like the art design, and I love the music. So go ahead and get lost in the fear, for it is fascinating.